Welcome to the Loud Quiet.
Ooh, empty nester. Okay. What does that mean?
Yeah, I think that actually probably is the theme of the empty nest. What are we doing? Let's do this. Let's do this thing. I don't know if I'm recording. Yeah. Okay.
Great. Sans children. Just us. We need a tissue box up here. Follow along on our journey and maybe, we can learn from others.
Yeah. I don't have a clue how to be empty nester.
This is the Loud Quiet, Living the Empty Nest.
All right. Hello and welcome to episode 17 of The Loud Quiet. Hey, I want to start off by it's the end of the year and Spotify does a thing where it shows you sort of a recap of the year. And I want to specifically say thank you to those of you that are listeners. Thank you to those of you who are viewers. There's a category of y'all that this is your number one podcast that you listen to, and that really warms our heart. We did this primarily to have an activity for Clancy and me to do together. You, the listeners, you, the viewers, though, that's an additional warming of our hearts to know that you really like this. You really like this, and you want to be a part of the Loud Quiet, and we really appreciate that.
Is that Spotify Wrapped a new thing this year?
It's not, but it has become much more visible.
Everyone I've seen is,
yes.
Oh, look what my Spotify Wrapped was. So, yeah.
There's two elements of it. One is if you're a podcaster, it gives you stats about your show. Mm-hmm. If you are a listener of Spotify, then that's been more well known. Hey, this is my number one listening, all that. The podcaster one, it gave me it for CX Passport. It gave me it for this podcast as well. And it's just neat to see out there. And so for those of you that haven't had the opportunity to leave a review either at Spotify or at Apple or at any of your favorite places, please, we would love to see your comments there, love to see your review there. And then if you're a viewer on YouTube, certainly subscribe, follow, and leave a comment there. It always warms our heart to see what you've got out there. And we've learned from several of you as we've gone through that. So we have talked a lot about kids over the last episodes. What happens over the holidays? What happens when you travel? The reality is, though, this empty nest thing is, it's an empty nest. And so today's episode is kind of fun. Clancy has found something that we're going to walk through almost real time today. And it's about, what can you do when you're an empty nester?
Well, yeah, I was just looking for topics because we need topics. So
content when you're on a weekly
So I was just Googling some emptiness and this article popped up, which I guess it's from the datingdivas.com. So they must I didn't go any further into their pages. I just pulled up this article, but I'm assuming they must have all different categories of dating and maybe dating advice. I don't know. This was just an article written by someone who contributed to their page. So it was 30 fun and flirty date ideas for empty nesters, which I don't know how much flirting needs to go on when
maybe more flirting needs to,
maybe so, yeah. So I scrolled through it, and most of them, I will say, we have done or planning to do. A lot of them, I was like, okay. So we'll just go through them and see what our reaction is.
And you've given me kind of the quickest of overviews, but we have not spent a ton of time talking about this. So this is going to be a little real-time conversation
and
for sure.
The pictures are really good as well, because at first I was like, okay, there are empty nesters who aren't 80. So let's put some, younger people in there. But anyway, so there's this is the whole intro. So let me get down
What's number one?
All right. Number one is go hiking.
Okay.
Now here's the young couple.
Oh, wait. I don't know. That almost looks like dad and daughter now that I'm looking at a picture there.
Okay. It's not, but, they're looking at the trail map, I'm guessing, getting ready to go on their hike. So this one I will say, check.
We've done it.
We've
talked about it. We put pictures on the podcast.
We have done it multiple times. And actually, the last one we did, Teagan actually joined us, which I was kind of surprised that she wanted to go with us.
It did break the empty nest vibe, but we'd done our empty nest. That was great to have her there.
But I did have to tell her because I said, your dad's not going to Utah us because when we were in Utah on vacation, we were on a hike and it was, oh, look, this is the shortcut. No, it added like.
Hang on. Okay, so we're going to stop from the 30 and be a little justified. It said on the sign, best route
Yes, it did.
back.
And it was not.
It was the worst route back. So my own folly for following the signs.
Yeah. So, but what was hilarious is Teagan knew exactly when I said, he's not going to Utah us on this hike. She was like, oh, okay, then I'll come.
You can tell this is a great example, though, of a good date to do as a empty nester. If you're physically capable of doing it, we can spend time together silently, we can talk together, and we can laugh about the memory now.
Yeah, and we do, and we have some of our good talks on hikes. Now, some of them, I've gotten to the point now where I'm like, there's only a certain kind of hike that I will do, but I have my parameters, but yeah, so we,
Okay,
so
we give a thumbs up to this one.
Yes, all right, okay, move on. All right.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that, but
all
sure.
right.
We do have 29 to get through now.
Okay, number 2, have a picnic in the park. And again, here's the couple, the pictures are just hilarious. So we have not done this. I don't really know what park we would go to because most of the parks around here are infiltrated with bazillion children.
Yeah, it's a sport. We're a sport community. That's true. I get it. This is not one that zings me, but I get it. You're spending,
and I mean,
it's just not as active.
We did it in our not everything has to be active, but we did it in our earlier days.
Right.
But my whole thing is, I don't want to pack all that stuff.
Here's what our picnic would be. All right, we're either going to stop by Market Street or Eatsy's, and we're going to grab something and just set it on a blanket.
I liked what we did with Aaron and JP. We went and played Frisbee golf at the park, and then we went to the Brass Tap right across the street.
There.
So there.
Have a Frisbee golf in the park and find a bar.
Or find a place that's, got, So, all right, up next. Go dancing. Oh, whoops. What did I do? Uh-oh. Oh, man.
Well, go dancing. We can talk about it while you're clicking that.
Yes. Go dancing. So,
I like this one. When you read this to me, I was like, yes, we should do that.
Yeah. And one of our friends, they are taking dance lessons. I couldn't just say, oh, yeah, let's go
to a club
and dance, or a country and Western place, or, any, I mean, I couldn't tell you the last time that, I did the mom dancing at the club, at Casa, when you're like sitting there and you're just like, doing the, So,
this is funny that this one comes up because I actually, and you could go see, I've actually tried to search where could we go two-stepping, but not like the glitzy neon new country two-stepping, but like the old stuff that you did at Baylor, the stuff that I did in high school at the SPJST Hall in Round Rock. I don't know if it exists, but I think that would be a lot of fun. Sawdust on the floor.
Yeah. Probably maybe up in Denton or something.
That's what I'm wondering about that.
But
that would be fun.
Would still, I know, but I would feel so uncomfortable just going into a place like that right now.
Lessons first.
So... And, we did. I would like to do a lesson, but like our friends who are doing it, Ashley and Ward, they have a private instructor. They have private lessons. I don't necessarily want to do it that way. I think it would be more fun with a group.
Yeah, that would be fun.
But that's something that they have found that they enjoy, and they're doing it as an empty nester activity. So, all right.
Well, we'll find it. If anybody knows where the SPJST equivalent is in North Texas, let us know.
So here's the enjoy a bike ride around your neighborhood or local park.
Are they on the same bike?
Well, I know. I was like, good Lord. They're
they just crashed into each other.
Close. I mean, first of all, I don't want you that near me after a bike ride.
That really does look like they're crashing.
And when I read this one, I was like, well, I don't even think I own a bike anymore. I think I got rid of my bike. But when we were younger, we did ride bikes all the time because where we lived, out here, we've done the trail over by Little Elm Park, but biking's never been a huge, now when you were younger, it was a huge part of your life. But this one to me is, we've rented bikes when we've been on vacation and that kind of stuff.
And we've done like the bike tours when you're in Florence and those are a blast. This one, I'm not going to add it to our date list, and certainly not, have a collision with each other on a ride.
Go to a local museum. Yeah,
I told my gosh.
The best part is the pictures. I told you now.
Oh my gosh. Y'all, if you're listening on Spotify, just go over to YouTube. You've got to start watching
Whoever picked the artwork. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Maybe they're looking at the creepy picture that we saw in.
Yeah, but we laughed when we did it. So.
Well, they're enjoying their time at the museum. So. But yes, we've actually done this. This was one of the first things we did when we went over to Fort Worth and went to the Kimball Museum, which
yeah, we talked about
and that
it.
was we talked about it on one of our first episodes. So
I do know with you, well, actually with me too, there's a limit. There's a piece and an enjoyment of kind of looking and that kind of stuff, but we're not the deep art history type people, and that's probably go to the local museum to the level of date that you and your spouse want to do.
Yeah. So,
and try not to look like those two.
And then here's the art gallery or local art show, which kind of falls into the same. It wasn't a gallery, but the museum that we did, and we enjoy, like, when we'll walk into galleries and things when they're there.
I can think about like when you're in Santa Fe or something, you wander in. I think that would actually be interesting to see a local art show, to actually go to some new artist that has released something. We see it on TV, like it often is a TV sort of programming thing. I've never been to an actual gallery release, an artist release. I would, even if I didn't care for the art, I think it'd be fun just to see the spectacle, and that's something that like you and I kind of could even have.
And I'm guessing there is that kind of, it's probably just not out here in the suburbs. Yeah. It's down in, now McKinney might have, because they have a little more vibe of artsy, and maybe up in Denton. But you probably have to go down to Dallas and be in that scene to get those kind of invites.
So and what's good about this list is things that you and I have never talked about going to a gallery opening. Well, kind of interesting.
And again, they're discussing.
Why did her son take her? This is the ages are weird in these models. Keep going. I'm disturbed.
Okay, this one I loved how they put see a new movie in a theater. like a theater. I know. Which for a while none of us were going to the theater.
Do they have talkies now?
It's like
my gosh.
This one was kind of funny,
Yes.
Now that you don't need to worry about being home on time to relieve the babysitter. Okay, I haven't needed, if you're an empty nester, you haven't needed a babysitter in like even when your kids were in high school.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. There are some high schoolers that probably would have benefited from a babysitter, but yes.
We do. We enjoy going to the theater. Now, again, I have caveats because some of these movies now are almost 3 hours. I can't do that. That's when I like to be in my house, when I can pause it, go get a drink, go to the restroom, because otherwise you're missing part of the movie. And I also have, now that most of them have the recliners, it has to be the recliners. So, but we like to go to the movies. We just, sometimes like there's doldrums where there's just nothing out.
We did talk about that. We're missing some. I think this is one that we need to plug more actively into, because what did we talk about the other day? There were like 5 movies that somebody commented on, and we didn't even know they were out.
Well, because I found out later that they were being released. It was not that situation anyway.
Even
they're not
still, though,
but
right?
Yes,
finding that out and
movies that we want to see sometimes, like one that came out and then it was gone because it got engulfed in all of the other major releases, but it's back now. So
and don't
so we can go see
there
that.
There are ways to know when to go pee. I was able to watch Oppenheimer.
I know. There's that app that you can find, but I still I want to be in the comfort of my home if it's over 2 hours.
Yeah. Napoleon's not going to be on our list.
No, I don't care about that one.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, yes. Or enjoy
instead of the theater with the talkies.
Well, but this is their romantic movie night face. I'm like, what are you watching?
Well, who knows? We'll have to click on the 16 perfect date night movies. It could be a slasher film that they're watching there, because they seem very disturbed.
They do have things embedded within. But I did we just we do this all the time. We don't necessarily make it a date, but we just enjoy. We just watched Quiz Lady, which was really good. If you have Amazon Prime, It was just very entertaining, good, and there's several new Christmas movies that are out, and now's the time, we have to start watching our Christmas movies.
Well, we talked about it. I think we're going to watch Four Christmases today.
Yeah, because we won't be able to fit them all in when the kids get home. So.
Mistletoe.
Yeah.
I'm not going to start quoting it.
Okay, so next. Oh, why do you just keep doing that?
So I'll do it while you're clicking that. Take a, what'd that say? Tour of your city or hometown.
Yeah. Which, okay, of a new city or your hometown.
And so that's part of us. We travel. This is
we do,
a normal part of our world.
Now, we haven't, we did do San Antonio this semester, I'll call it, since we're kind of living semesters. But we like to travel. And that's the thing, is that every other traveling we've done this few months has been to see the kids, which is good. And we love, we're learning a new city in Tucson.
And we do enough time away from them that I don't feel like it's exclusive. It's a reason to go there, but it's not the only thing that we do, which is good. Now, when you were reading this to me this morning, there's a particular part of touring a new city that we are not going to do. And that is explore your city on a Lime scooter.
Oh, yeah. I love that they put that. Yes. For
idea.
For all you empty nesters who are probably, 50 plus, get on a Lime scooter. Okay.
Hey, so
send your lawsuits.
This is brought to you by the medical industry. Although that one actually is kind of a younger, trimmer, fitter. Yeah. Okay, so maybe they can be on the Lime scooter.
Maybe so.
Unlike the couple earlier that was crashing into each other on the bike.
Okay, we're young and trim and fit. I don't want to be on a Lime scooter.
I'm just talking about them compared to the ones.
I will be the one that ends up with a broken something.
Yep.
All right, next, go bowling. So...
I'm sorry. I just saw something. We don't need to talk about bowling much because we do enjoy it, and I enjoy it. But scroll down or up a little bit. I don't know that I want to know what the sexy twist on this classic game is.
Bedroom bowling. Yeah,
that may be an episode for another time. Hey.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know what that means either.
Bedroom bowling.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right, stay tuned for a future episode describing bedroom bowling.
So we do, but we talked about that. I said, I enjoy bowling. It's fun. We have so much fun when we go, but I don't to me, that's not, I like to go with other people too, not just the two of us. Let's go bowling. It's not like we're in a league or something, but I like, it's fun with the kids. It's fun. It would be fun with other couples. It's just.
Bowling is certainly fun socially.
Yeah.
Okay.
Attend a cooking class or baking class together. Well, ironically, our other empty nester friends, Aaron and JP, just texted us yesterday and asked if we wanted to do a cooking class. So
I think we can consider this a yes.
Oh yeah, we're on board with that. I've done several over the years of our marriage, and
one of our favorite travel experiences was a cooking class. And that was when we did Cooking with Pooh over in Thailand. And so that kind of fun, and it's stories and memories, along with the food that you learn, but the stories and memories are great.
And that's, I enjoy it. It will be fun. I don't cook the way that those cooking classes,
I don't even think that's what it's about anymore.
I don't know.
It's just I meant just it's for us. It'd be just for having fun.
It's just just entertainment. No, I'm not going to learn any new recipes or
I'd love to do a dim sum cooking class.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have no intention of ever doing dim sum at home.
Yeah. All right. Next, go on a grocery store date. Yes.
Okay.
So, yeah, I didn't see the. Oh yes. Okay. Look, but
Wait.
She has her paper list. And I still have my paper list. I think that's unless she's got it on her tablet, which then it may be.
But he's carrying a bag of groceries they already bought.
Well, maybe they don't live here. Maybe that's how you do it somewhere else. I don't know.
There's no way we're doing a grocery store date. You kicked Teagan and me out in our Thanksgiving shopping.
Well, and like I said when I read this one, I'd be in there for double the time and end up with double the crap in the cart. So, no.
We need both Cheez-Its and super toasted Cheez-Its.
No.
Who wants cookies?
Yeah. And it's always, let's get this in. No. So, all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because this one, you're supposed to, one of you would be in charge of an appetizer and one the main dish. So you pick stuff and cook. Okay. I'm already going to the cooking class. I don't need to do that.
This one's out. Yeah. I'm not doing that.
Okay. Take a pottery or painting class together. This one is a big no for me just because I was in the era of the painting with a twist. Oh, and so I have so many of those underneath the bed somewhere of
I think Miso
bad trees, bad. I mean, I've thrown out a bunch, but there was a Christmas one that I do like that I haven't pulled out. But I mean, even, Teagan went to a birthday party once and like she drew a cheerleader, and her cheerleader, it looks like she has like a big club foot because it's like bigger than the rest of the body. I mean, yeah.
That's awesome.
So
no, I don't know. It'd be connection time, but
No,
we all remember Ghost, pottery classes.
Yes, and I'm sure that's really the kind of party class that,
combine pottery and bedroom bowling, and who knows what's going on.
And again, it's another thing of, I want to bring another thing into this house. Yeah. Okay, so.
Pass.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at her piece of pottery.
I mean, it's like shop for pot. It's a...
No, but I mean...
Like, what oil vase is that?
That's her clay. Her clay looks like something else. Okay. Bake cookies together.
Okay. I don't... Oh, we have different reactions on this one.
Again... I would bake cookies together maybe at a baking cookie class or something, but I don't know how you bake cookies together.
Well, like them, you laugh and hold the heart shape
and
together.
with your milk sitting on the counter. That's more, I guess they're decorating cookies together.
I think I get the sense that there's a little bit of get out of my kitchen with this, that we can do cookies together somewhere else.
Okay, but like when I make chocolate chip cookies, I don't really know how you're going to do that with me because
get out of my kitchen.
So maybe decorating. Okay. Volunteer at a shelter or do community service.
Like this one.
We are actually doing that this coming up.
When this episode releases on Thursday, it'll be the 2 days later. And
so I'm
looking forward to this.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I'd like to do more of this. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of folks will go, oh, yes, I want to serve more. I think as you're an empty nester, this is something that you can do, not just a date, but it's a way we have more time. So we should be able to do this more often.
One of the problems is, though, the places that you want, they fill up so fast. Now, now that we are empty nesters, we can... Again, though, we're not retired, but we're empty nesters. But we could do some weeknight stuff. But yes, we're doing this one this weekend. So, plan a staycation. We've done these.
I find this a little weird in the empty nest world, because to me, part of the reason why you staycation, well, there's 1,000 reasons. One, it can be cost, budget, time, all that kind of stuff. But in the past, we did it was let's just get a night away from the kids. Yeah. Well,
I guess if you want to be out of your house, or like if we wanted to go to Fort Worth,
if you're a little bit further away,
staycation. I mean, there's restaurants that we like to eat at Dallas that sometimes you don't want to drive back home.
I could see that, like if we went to the symphony late or something like that. Yeah, you could.
You could. It's just we've done it here. We've lived here now for so many years. We've done it here so many times that to us.
Unless the hotel had a particularly neat element to it. And there's some new, like there's a new one that opened up in Fort Worth that has a quirky boutiqueness to it. That I might consider, but going and staying at the Hilton Garden Inn in Dallas doesn't hold this. But staying at the Hilton Garden Inn in Tucson works really well.
Mm. All right, next up, attend a live theater show. We enjoy this. We like doing this.
Check.
So
I'm in. Yeah.
We just need to see what's playing because
what I don't want to do though, what's frustrating, and they do it by design, the Broadway series or anything like that is 3 of the shows you want to see and 4 you don't. But if you want to get tickets, you got to buy the series. I'd like to get exposed to more local theater too. I just don't know how we even plug into that.
Well, it's everywhere. I mean, there's some of the kids that Tanner and Teagan know, they do local theater. So
I'd like to see some of that too, where it's not just the big production, but the more intimate 3-4 actors on a stage telling a story.
Yeah. Attend an outdoor concert, or if there aren't any concerts, consider looking up a local amphitheater to see what they have on the calendar. We like concerts. We like outdoor concerts. One of my favorites was the Erasure one over at the place in Grand Prairie.
Irving.
Toyota
Music Factory.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that one is one of my favorite ones.
What's different?
The problem is here you have to
you get 3 weeks where you can see an outdoor show, and I'll comment on the fact that it was outdoors for the rows behind us. But we made sure that our seats were covered.
Yeah, and did it rain?
No,
but yeah.
Now that we're empty nesters, and it's more just about being older, I'm not really interested in wearing a poncho and running around in the mud type thing. So I want to be in a seat and be comfortable, but that was a great show. Yeah.
But
live music was a big part of our dating scene.
Big.
And part of it is because shows go on later now that it does not remain that way. A lot of our dating was going to concerts, and so this is a good way to remember.
Yeah, and again, I can't go to something that starts at 10 o'clock at night. So,
and that's sometimes the opening.
Yes. Okay. 19. Go to a comedy club or improv night. We enjoy. Yeah. I mean, we even pop on Netflix comics all the time, and watch shows. So we like doing this, and we will do more of this. So
we tried to do it not try. We were going to, then we decided to do something else.
Yeah. Okay. 20. Go to a local antique show or flea market.
I'm out.
Well,
I'm out. Yeah, right. That's it. Okay, show's over. Who? What? No. This is like Canton.
There are couples that enjoy that. My parents, yes. My mom still goes to Canton. My dad doesn't go with her anymore, but they, and if
I will agree. Different strokes for different folks. No problem there.
No.
But for me, out.
No. And I've done Canton a couple of times, and that stuff doesn't really appeal to me. So.
Look, what about a piece of furniture you're looking to flip?
Especially because, I don't, I'm not into antiques. My mom is huge into antiques. That just was never my scene. So, okay. Host a murder mystery dinner with friends. No.
Out.
Yeah.
Well, wait. Hang on. The word host. I'd be more than happy to have a murder mystery happening in front of me while I tend bar and watch everybody else doing it. But being a part of it, no. Killer 80s prom.
Yeah. I don't even like there was a party we were supposed to go to that was one of these. These just don't appeal to me.
We did it with a were you part of? I can't remember. Did you join me in the corporate thing that I had to do?
I don't know. I don't remember.
And it was so bad because it just was bad. It was just bad.
Yeah. I like an escape room. I like when we do those.
Yes.
Again, though, you can't a 2-person. You need to get a group.
Oh, yeah,
but that would be a fun empty nest thing to do as a group, which kind of goes along that same. Okay, go boating or canoeing. Yeah, I mean, I would do this. I just don't know where we would do it.
You'd have to be in a place that's different than where we are.
Right.
And I mean, we talked about a story of canoeing when we were talking about camping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hopefully you won't find snakes on the next time we canoe. We like being on the water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I could see a scenario where we are boating. One of the things, if you don't have a boat, it can be a little pricey to do it as a couple. Canoeing, though.
Yeah.
Kayaking.
Yeah.
Paddleboarding. Those kind of things. Yeah, that'd be a fun date.
Get dinner from a local food truck. I don't know why.
Why is that a big deal?
I don't know. Maybe this article was written before food trucks were like on every corner. I mean, because now we have, places that are built for just food trucks. So, but we like when we get food from food truck. Like when, again, though we were with the kids, but when we went down to Clyde Warren when it had first opened and they had the food trucks, we were like, oh, this is neat, So again, I'm not going to seek out
this doesn't feel like a date.
But,
I wouldn't say to you, we're going to have dinner and specifically target a food truck.
Yeah.
We would target an area that happened to have food trucks.
Yeah.
I don't see this as the date. It's just a way that you're being fueled during the date.
Okay, 24. Attend a local sporting event.
Sounds great.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. We're going to do more of these.
Yeah. I like sports. I do. Yeah, but check.
A little sported out there.
Done.
I bet you, what though? I bet if I had Final Four tickets and the kids weren't available or something like that was a lot of fun when we did that.
I enjoy sports, and I enjoy, the one they picked is not my favorite, but it was fun to still see them win on the TV. So, but I enjoy going to sporting events.
You're not going to be the one that says, when I say, hey, let's go do a date, it's Friday night, let's go see an FC Dallas match.
Yeah, no.
No, it needs to be an event rather than a date in that
or
case.
my kid needs to be playing in it. Okay, 25, play games together.
Okay.
I guess the bowling,
bedroom bowling
would fall under this category. So
I think they had a different thing in mind. But yes.
No, we like games. We've always played cards, and
this is one though that we were talking about. We should do more of.
Mm-hmm.
We love TV, and you talked about a couple episodes ago. TV is your love language. I'd like to introduce more of this, where it's the TV and there's the games.
Yeah, it's just finding 2-person games
Agreed.
is not, I mean, we play gin and that kind of stuff, and it's fun, but only
a couple rounds of gin that you can actually play.
So, but maybe
we can check out their top best 2-player card games and board games.
Yes, we can. So, and I don't play chess, and y'all, you, Teagan, and Tanner play chess. That's another good, long 2-person game, but I don't play that. Okay. Oh, yeah. Here. Oh, there's the card people. I love their faces. Okay. Go swimming. Oh, we do that. We have a pool. That one.
I was kind of feeling about that here.
Yeah.
We go swimming and we do enjoy that. And I get that. That one one feels very datey if you don't have access to that. And I understand that. It just so happens that we have very comfortable access to that.
27. Go to a drive-in movie. I know we have one around here somewhere, but again, I've done it a couple times. It was fun when I was a kid and we would do it, but I don't really care about.
I've never done one, and so I think I would enjoy checking the box once, but I really don't. Like, it doesn't hold any actual appeal to me. I mean, other than the cliche steaming up the windows kind of thing at a drive-in,
and now I don't even know how they are now because they can't make them like they used to. So I don't know that one.
But it could be neat.
Yeah. Enjoy an ice cream shop date together. Okay, we just go get ice cream.
This one did feel. I guess maybe we could go make it a date to go to the Monument PGA ice cream shop. But yeah, if I want ice cream, let's just go.
If they offer samples, try as many as you can. Okay, annoy the worker.
Oh my gosh. I think the last shop that it was when Tanner and I were out in North Carolina. I think they had look. You get 2 samples. Pick your 2 flavors you want to try and get out of our hair.
Yeah. So
try as
and
many
we
as
do
you can.
every time we're in Austin, we hit Amy's, and that's my ice cream favorite. Okay, go shopping for a date night.
What? No.
Well, here's the problem with this one. Well, and they wanted you to buy something for the other person. So okay, we're past that. Look,
each of you has a budget, and then you. Okay, no.
But that's not even. If you have a spouse that enjoys shopping, then that would work. You hate shopping. I don't know the last time you bought a piece of clothing for yourself. So you don't like it. I used to like shopping a lot more than I do now, but I can go in and go boom, 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 go, so this doesn't.
You know what? My first reaction was meh. I actually remember a couple times, and this might be kind of fun to redo, where it's an afternoon. So we go to shopping places, like get out of our area and head down to North Park or go to those other regions and make it kind of an afternoon where we're doing stuff, we're eating, we're going into stores together. Like, that has been fun in the past. I just hate doing it solo because I just don't like it.
Yeah, but again, I know the stores that I like to go to. So
yeah, it's more of an efficiency. It's a transaction rather than an event.
Yeah, I enjoy, when Tanner and I go, we have a good time because he likes to shop. You would be in a place and be like, I don't know, and so no.
Well,
don't see that one happening.
One of the good things about being an empty nester is you definitely know me.
All right, last one: host a potluck dinner party with friends. We do this, and we do enjoy it.
Can we change the phrasing of this? Text your friends a couple hours before and say, hey, we're going to do happy hour at our house. Bring some stuff over. Let's end up spending hours together. That's our version of potluck, and we've had a great time doing that.
Yeah. And then, we end up staying too long and then making breakfast tacos at 10:30 at night because no one can drive to go get anything to eat. So
bit of an overstatement, but yeah, it was the right choice. But yeah, pulling the skillet out and frying up bacon at 10 o'clock.
People, yeah. So yeah.
All right. Well, that was kind of fun to go through 30 choices.
I mean, I thought it was fun.
There's some that forget about it.
Yeah. Some were not, not good at all. And some we've already done and some we plan on doing in the future.
I like the reminder of doing some things that I think we loved. And it's a reminder to go. And that's probably a key part of empty nesting is don't forget the things that you used to really enjoy and start doing them.
Yeah.
Again.
Well, and I also think, we did a good job like at the beginning of, okay, let's go do this weekend. Let's go do this. Then we got busy going back and forth to Arizona and other life stuff. And so I want to, this was kind of our semester check-in, if you will. So next,
how'd we do,
year,
Professor?
I think we did fine. I think we did good.
Yeah.
I think
I'd give us a good grade.
I think we navigated the first months of being empty nest pretty well. So now, we did get to see our kids a lot, and that, won't change with her. I don't know how much that will change with him, but yeah, no, I think we did well. So, but speaking of the child, this was the text,
talking about semesters.
Week. Yeah. Yeah. So she had just finished her Spanish conversation final and she texted and said, well, that was honestly my last stressful thing. I'm in the home stretch now. So it's
awesome.
She's had a really good academic, social, outside of a certain aspect of it. She's had a really good semester. So starting off strong.
And she's found a way to handle that one challenge there. And so I love how she's socially adjusted, academically adjusted, and just living life adjusted. So to see that home stretch, I know that you haven't seen him on camera, but the little dude at our feet right now, she's very ready to see him.
And she's ready to be home and be in her space for a little bit. Yep. So yeah. All right.
There we go. Everybody now, you know what to go do and not do on your dates.
Yeah. And tell us if you have a good date idea that you thought was really fun to do, let us know.
And we'll put it on the show. Like we'll definitely give you credit for it and shout you out on it. And we'll use it ourselves too if we like it.
All right. It's been another episode of The Loud Quiet.
Living the Empty Nest.